What's up, guys? On today's episode, we have our very special guest.
Oscar Navarro. He is the C.O.O. of Mariscos, Cachanilla, and Café Nopal.
This is an inspiring episode of how meticulous one must be to achieve successes not only in the food industry, but in any industry. So guess what? Crack open a cold beer, sit on the front porch, and watch this beautiful episode. All right, what is up, guys? We are back here at Two Guys, One Cast live from the Rabbit Hole.
The rabbit hole once again. They got the sign back when we first started.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
Yeah.
It's been a while since it's
been
I don't know, it just was gone. Last week it was gone.
It's been gone for a while.
Yeah, it's been gone for a while.
It's my first time here, so
First time here.
Now you're going down the rabbit hole.
right.
And this is our special guest today. His name is Oscar Navarro. He is a chef and owner operator, or how does that work at your?
Well, it's a family-run business,
Yeah.
and right now, I would C.O.O. I guess
C.O.O.? There we go.
because we're compartmentalized and we all play to our strengths. And my strength is like back of the house knowledge and
Yeah.
making things run uniformly day in day out. So I guess that.
Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Nice.
And it's all, my parents' hard work. So who am I to say, oh, yeah, me.
Yeah.
It's us. It's we.
It's a family
yeah.
business. Oh, definitely. And it's called Mariscos Cachanilla?
Cachanilla.
Cachanilla.
Yep.
And what does that
That's the
Cachanilla mean? I was looking it up the other day.
I am under the impression that it's a nickname that they give to people from the region.
Okay.
To be honest, I have not looked it up. And,
Yeah.
But yeah, Cachanillas, Mexicali, Baja California.
Yeah, that's what I Googled, and that's what it said.
Mexico
Like,
border.
that's like pretty much like Texan. Like, if you're from Texas, you're Texan. Like,
Mhm.
Cachanilla. If you're from Baja California, you're a Cachanilla.
So a lot of times when people come to the food truck or they look us up, and if they're from Mexico, once they hear El Cachanilla, they immediately know what part of Mexico, what kind
Yeah.
of food they're going to serve because they've been there, opposed to like, oh, we're from like the Yucatan or,
Right.
it's, regional. And by the name, they already know what they're going to
What they're going to get.
Exactly.
Nice.
Definitely. That's awesome, man. And yeah, I mean, we've heard about you, and then we looked at your Instagram, and we're like, damn, that's awesome. But you're not only Mariscos. You want to get into the coffee business as well?
Yes. So I'm a partner and co-owner of Café Nopal,
Mm-hmm.
at Café Nopal FTW for Instagram.
Yeah,
right.
let's go.
There we go.
Yeah. My wife and her cousin are the coffee. They know the coffee. They're
Yeah.
baristas. They
Yes,
know
sir.
the ins and out of it. And I'm just starting to learn this. And we just love coffee culture. Shout out Coffee Folk off of Oakland Boulevard. The culture that they've developed and like all the people that go there regularly.
Yeah.
They post up, they grab their lawn chairs, and they're there for hours. It's like very
Damn.
like close knit community, and we want to do that, but with like a Hispanic, heritage twist. right?
Okay.
So I was able to find someone to provide me coffee beans from Mexico, from Oaxaca.
Yeah.
Damn.
My chocolates from Mexico, my piloncillo, canela, mazapanes are from Mexico. So I'm trying to bring as much as I can from there to keep it as traditional and
Yeah.
authentic as I can. That word gets thrown around loosely nowadays, but very Mexican-ish vibes. But we noticed there isn't a lot of places like that in Fort Worth,
Yeah.
opposed to like aside from La Casa Azul.
Yeah.
But we want to take it notch more homey, like the rabbit hole. You feel comfortable here immediately walking in because it's a different atmosphere.
I
Right.
agree.
We want to do the similar concept, just Mexico. So, those orange mesquite clay pots as decoration, maybe
Yeah.
some cactuses, stuff like that. Good
No, that's
food,
sweet.
because there's not a lot of concepts like that here.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
um, and hopefully the community, supports.
No, for sure. I mean, we're all about, going to local spots and all that. My wife and I have been going to local coffee shops lately, support the local community
Hmm.
other than supporting like, corporations and stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we've been to the Casa Azul, we've been to Cafecito, we've been to Tesoro. So, yeah, we like trying new spots as well.
Yeah, and I'm just trying to have people come for the coffee, but as soon as they taste the food, they're like, "Ooh, we could come and eat
Exactly.
breakfast here too,"
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
um, get a nice homey grandmotherly type cook at a restaurant,
Yeah.
knowing that you're gonna go there and feel nostalgic.
Yeah.
That's what I'm trying to go for, nostalgia. Make you think back on your childhood and have people appreciate it that
Yeah.
much more.
That's the best kind of breakfast too, honestly. That's
Yeah.
my favorite kind because I
Nothing
love
pretentious,
breakfast.
just on there, constructed nice and given hearty portions.
Yes, sir.
Yep.
That's sweet. Yeah, we'll put their Instagram right here. You are looking for a brick and mortar store also, right?
Yeah. Tomorrow we're actually looking at a spot in over by Race Street,
Oh,
a little bit
nice.
further down from like the Soto and stuff.
Yeah.
So we'll see how that goes. Because we are trying to do coffee, a lot of specific things need to be put in or available for it to work out. If
Yes,
not,
sir.
then we just keep on looking.
Yeah. That's
Ray
awesome.
Street's a good spot. There's a lot of awesome like local places over by Ray Street too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So hopefully we find a good spot, if it's there or maybe somewhere else. I would like to stay in like the east. I'm just gonna raise it a little bit.
Here, I got you. Here, do this. Do this.
East Fort Worth,
Yeah.
because everywhere else there's like all this food and bars and stuff, and on that side it's kind of scarce.
Yeah.
Because if you're going east, you're just going straight to Arlington.
Yes, sir.
You're just driving by. You're not really trying to stay and stop for anything.
Yeah. Oh, that's awesome. And how did this Mariscos concept start?
Well, my parents, the majority of their life, they worked warehouses, forklift drivers, picking orders and stuff. Just want to do something for themselves,
Yeah.
right? COVID hit, things got slow. Parents enjoyed make food, ceviche,
sir.
and we would make it all the time, and we would ask my mom to make it all the time. Started making aluminum catering trays that now we have available for people,
Yeah.
and just sell them to family. Contactless, because it was COVID. We just drop
Yeah.
it off at the curb and they'll like Venmo or whatever.
Yeah.
The reviews from the family was like, "Hey, this is great. You should open up a food truck." Because it's really good. And my parents were like, "Yeah, maybe, we'll have to think about it because that's another challenge. That's something, daunting, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh crap, we got
a
to
whole
open
lot
a
of
food
work.
truck." So they were hesitant at first, but then more reviews came from not just family, like friends of the family and neighbors and stuff, and everything was like really good. And if you were to trust reviews, and if the general vibe is good, then it should be good, right?
Yes,
There's
sir.
nothing
Yeah.
to think it's bad. So they did it. They bought a food truck, Bear. We set it up the line left to right, so everything moves very fluidly and smoothly, and there's no, crossing of any way that would like obstruct service.
Yes, sir.
And 3 years in, dude, it's working great.
That's awesome.
But it wasn't always like that. When we first started, we would not we my parents would take turns sleeping on the floor, just lay down, a brand new trailer, brand new
Yeah.
mats, slow. We'd do 3-4 sales a day from 9 to 9 p.m.
Damn.
But each of those individual sales, we did it to the best of our
Yeah.
abilities.
Yes, sir.
Like absolutely flawless. Here you go. Thank you so much for coming.
Yeah.
Hope to see you again. I know I'll see you again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then it just snowballed. The first year was a good sign. We did. I wouldn't say really well at the time,
Yeah.
right? Because now, comparatively speaking,
Oh yeah.
we're doing great. But we did well. And through the word of mouth and not so much us advertising, because it's better for you to tell him, "Hey, I found this food truck. It's great. You got to go there, because
Yeah.
you would believe him more than just like kind of scrolling through Instagram and seeing
Right,
something
exactly.
that looks good.
Yeah.
But is it good? You don't know until you try it. So we relied on that, because if you two come, you become my regulars. We build this personal relationship, and then you tell two more people, then those two more people, then they become regulars, and then through like exponential growth, you two could bring me 200, 300 people,
Exactly.
not even knowing it, and because I served you to the best of my abilities the first time.
Yes, sir.
And
No, I
the
think
second
that's the
time,
best
and the
promotion.
third time.
The word of mouth.
That's
Exactly.
how we ended up coming to the rabbit hole. Actually, I think it was it you or was it
Milton.
I think it was Milton.
Milton, I think.
Milton.
And that's
Sounds
how we
good,
got
dude.
cool with our Vizus. And then their story, we did a episode with Omar, and very similar. How he said when he started the truck, they were struggling. They were only getting barely anyone coming to the truck, and it
Mhm.
sucked for a while. And then eventually it started popping off.
Yeah, you just in the beginning you have to work real hard to not discourage yourself. Sure, you made 3 sales, but hey, you made 3 sales.
Right, exactly.
Right? As opposed to none if you didn't try at all.
Yeah.
Right? And the thing that kills businesses, not just restaurants, but like in general, consistency. Right? Day in, day out, nonstop. Has to be not just the same, but like the best, the best, the best, the best, the best, the best, the best.
Yeah, it has to be consistent.
Because they know that they'll come by, spend their money, get exactly what they know they're gonna get. People go to McDonald's to get a McChicken. It's the same McChicken as yesterday. Same
Yeah.
McChicken in New York, California. It'll be the same McChicken 4 or 5 years from now. You know what I mean? Because it's
sir.
consistency. Sure, it's a shitty McChicken, but
They know what they're getting.
exactly. So if you are inconsistent, people are like, "Well, last week it was good. Is it going to be good this week?
Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
let's just go over here instead," because we know they will provide us with what
Exactly.
we want. And that's the hardest part, is keeping yourself, in check. It's really easy to slip up and
Yeah.
lose that customer because you were lazy just that once.
Exactly. Getting a
you
little
know?
too comfortable almost.
And I
Yeah.
think if you get once you get big, also some people stop caring, because they know people are gonna show up, so they just, what I'm saying,
That's
they don't care about the food anymore.
Getting complacent about everything.
Yeah.
exactly. That's a good word for it. But it's just, I'm a big man on culture, on developing a really good culture, and ultimately it starts with you, the person, individually. They all need to want to reach the same goal. You can have somebody there that doesn't want to be there achieve the same thing. At my food truck, we all, through like repetition and just pounding it in them, I'm like, it's us, it's we, it's not
Yes, sir.
you. And our goal is to provide the person at the window with the best bowl of ceviche or aguachile that they've gotten, that they want to go and tell other people about it. Like, here,
Yeah,
try this.
exactly.
Here, try this. Because at the end, we're here to serve, nurture and give food and make people happy by what they're eating. You know what I mean? And that comes with integrity and discipline. And
Yep.
if you're tired, you're hungover, it doesn't matter. But if you can't measure 4 scoops of ceviche in a bowl right, every time, then why are you even in the profession?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think that goes with anything that you want to do that's successful, whether it's food industry or entertainment or really anything, sports team, anything.
Soccer.
Yeah,
That's where I
exactly.
picked that mentality up, is no one's going to take my spot. I'm starting every game. And if you want to play, it's because I want to get subbed off, or I'm like, hey, I'll rather be a sub today.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
You practice correctly, or else, like, who are you kidding? You're not going to get any better. Same thing,
Exactly.
like with your drums or
Yes,
playing
sir.
any instrument. You practice incorrectly, you've been practicing incorrectly. You're
Exactly.
getting worse.
Those are bad habits you're practicing.
Exactly.
No, I agree with that. Because everything he said, I was like, man, and it's stuff with I'm dealing with right now in my personal life.
Yeah.
I mean, I've
With
made a
other
lot of
people, that's what sucks, because it's like, for you have to have all your workers in line. They know what they got to do. I mean, there's got to be a leader, but it's a we thing at the end of the day.
Yeah, and there's always got to be a leader, yes, but I would also like to think like I'm training my replacements. I don't want to be the leader. I want all of them. I want all 5, all 6 of them to be individual leaders, and if something goes wrong, all 5 or 6 of them have a solution, because they're leaders. They know
Yeah.
what to do next. They know what route or what steps should be taken
Exactly.
for success.
Yeah.
Right. And that's where a lot of chefs have egos. We're like, oh, it's all me about me. It's me, 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 me. I'm better than all of you. I'm not going
Yeah.
to teach you so much so that you start, out showing me up or whatever. They just kind of like gatekeep and stuff. But that's ultimately hurting.
Yeah, it hurts the whole restaurant,
Yeah, or the whole restaurant industry, because then they leave and they're discouraged, and then they go to other places and underperform because of the last shitty chef. Where I want to build people up and get them to the point where they are better than me, because I'm not at the food truck anymore 40, 45, 50 hours a week
Exactly.
scooping ceviches. They should be better than me, and my job is to make them better than me at that. I'm like, yes, thank you so much for fanning that avocado better than me, because ultimately that's what I want.
Yes, sir.
And if they leave and go to another restaurant, I want the chef to be like, damn, where'd you come from? This is like, you're working really well. They could be like, oh, I came from blah 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 with blah blah blah. Not like, damn,
Exactly.
where'd you come from?
Because that's a direct reflection on you and your business.
Exactly. And ultimately it comes down to pride. Not being prideful and like arrogant, but having respect for the craft and yourself and your food, and knowing that if I give you something, I want you to like it, because then that makes me feel good.
Yes,
And
sir.
now the ladies at the truck are starting to see the reviews and the faces and people recognizing them, because, the stuff they give them is good. And that makes them want to perform better because of that, recognition and realizing that working hard is good. I used to be
Yeah.
made fun of in school because, oh, you're a try hard, blah 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 blah. And
That's
now
okay.
it's kind of flipped. Now it's
Yeah.
kind of cool to try hard and
Yeah.
try to get Michelin stars and stuff
Right,
like
exactly.
There's nothing wrong with that. I mean, what's so wrong with wanting to be successful? That's stupid. To bash on someone for wanting better for themselves.
that. Exactly.
I've never understood that.
That's crazy.
Yep. So I like to just train, teach, mentor as I would want to be taught, and
Yes, sir.
mentored. So
That's a great mindset. That's
That is.
an amazing mindset, honestly.
That is. And do y'all have plans to open up a restaurant?
yes, I helped open up a ghost kitchen with one of my old chefs. Shout out Shani Left Lancart the second. Because of that, I realized, and he often mentioned and advised, don't get in bed with people you don't want to, be in a relationship with. So whatever opportunity comes across that's perfect, you don't want to, like, a lot of people come to us, hey, we would like to fund you and like help you get a restaurant, blah blah blah, but
Exactly.
might as well not deal with that because of what I've seen in the past and go on it on our own. All right. But the dominoes need to fall, and we have to find the right space, right location, location, location. And then the infrastructure inside should be, not perfect, but,
At least,
workable.
yeah,
The
adequate.
least amount of renovations, the better, because that all's, bleeding money.
Exactly.
So yes, we were looking
Yeah.
for a spot, but
That's
it just
awesome.
has to be, smart. And I would like to own the lot.
Yeah.
So I don't have to pay rent, and everything is mine,
Yeah.
Um,
Well, also by
smart
the
is what
time
you
this
hope.
comes out, if there's anyone that knows a good spot for him,
Yeah,
please
please,
leave in the comments or send us a
not only
suggestion.
that, but for Café Nopal too.
There you go. Yes, sir.
Just any opportunity comes across, why not take a look, see if it works?
Yeah.
If
For
not,
sure.
don't feel rushed, because the business is there. It's not going anywhere.
Exactly.
We have a good amount of following, so hopefully that whenever we open up a restaurant, they can just flock there and flood and feel
Exactly.
safer, because our location right now is not ideal.
Yes, sir.
But having a nice fenced out restaurant, liquor license, hopefully,
Yeah, the whole
Yeah.
nine.
yeah.
Well, you've done amazing for yourself because I mean, Caesar sent me your Instagram once we confirmed this podcast interview, and I was like, oh my god. I mean, I think
Yeah.
what was it, 144, 150K followers. So I mean,
Yeah.
that says a lot already with
And
what you're
again,
doing.
to reiterate, that's all my sister, Giselle Navarro. She's great, and it comes natural. So she's
Yeah.
constantly just da, 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 da,
But there's that teamwork aspect we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Yeah, our food has to look just as good as the picture. So,
Exactly.
you know,
Yeah.
it
So
has.
you're held to a higher standard.
No, and it does. I mean, I was there for like 30 minutes, and you know, all the food that you were whipping out, it looked great.
Thank you. Yeah,
So,
and anybody listening to this that checks it out, look how everything's like the same. The avocado's facing the same way, the shrimp's facing the same way, the same
Yeah.
amount of drizzles.
It is
I
almost like
measure everything down to like the quarter teaspoon,
yeah.
right? So each individual item, because I have a bunch of shit, has the same amount of chiltepin powder, it has the same amount of whatever. We weigh our cilantro. So our aguachile, when it gets
Mhm.
blended up, is the same. Before we would like pack in 2 cups, but
Yeah.
then my force might be a little stronger than yours, or yours might be a
Exactly.
little lighter. So
Yes, sir. It'll vary.
it was good. It was passing, but I like to control everything. I'm crazy like that. I might as well control it to the point where it's down to the gram.
Exactly.
And that way, whenever you do blend it, it's even that much more consistent, you know?
Yeah.
Um, there's labels everywhere. Everything has a home.
Yep.
Because if I get a new person that wants to train, they could just hop in and do. They have a question. If they just look around, they might find the answer. You
Yeah.
know, like, oh, where's this? Like, just instead
And
of saying
it's
where's this, just take a quick little look and
Exactly.
boom, boom, boom.
it's
Build
all
that
about
muscle memory.
presentation too. Like that's what people, you know, that's the first impression of your food, you know, when they first get it.
Yeah.
So like for
The
example,
eyes eat first.
we work at
It's true.
restaurants
It's very true.
and I can tell who's back there cooking or on the line before even going back there just by looking at the plate when it comes out. So
And that all ties down to the individual person caring enough
right.
to do it the same way.
Yep.
You know, you could preach and preach and preach and preach and be the example, be the bar, and like show them day in, day out that you are doing it that way, but they themselves will need to want to do it too.
Well, I think your attention to detail is why y'all are so consistent.
Yeah.
And then what you were talking about earlier, I mean, it's evident because if you're going to go to that extent, you're going to have a consistent and like you're going to have consistent food, consistent quality of everything, especially with it's like there's a template not only for the weight and how much you put it, but how it's presented and how it looks.
Yeah,
Talking about how you angle stuff and everything.
absolutely everything is measured, because when you could measure something, you could know how much it yields you, and based off what you have and whatever amount it is, quarts um or like gallons and stuff, you could break that down and be like, okay, I get 20 portions out of that, or oh, we're good, I have like 10 more portions of that, we'll wait a little bit before we prep more ceviche, right? And if you don't measure it, you don't know, and you're guessing, and I hate guessing. I need to know.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I want to get down to the point where I'm timing how long the shrimp and aguachiles are in lime juice, but it's too much work for right now.
Yeah.
You know, no need. Once we're in the restaurant and I'm like constantly serving food,
Exactly.
then yes, you know, time it.
Well, I think for what you're doing right now, you're already going above and beyond. Which I mean,
But why
the
not go
results show.
further?
No, I agree.
Yeah.
I
It's like
agree.
that Kobe Bryant commercial. Is like, can you be the same monster and a different beast,
Yeah.
or the same? Yeah, you know what I mean.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's
No, but there's always you can always strive for more. But I think for the situation y'all have right now, I think it's awesome.
No, it's
Especially
great.
once you have a restaurant. Yeah, I mean, I can't wait to see what you can do with
yeah.
that.
You could just scale up. You know,
Exactly.
if you develop the good habits and like the routine and the culture there at such a small confined space, that once you open up a restaurant, it's like, hey, we have all this space.
Yeah.
You know,
That'll be awesome.
Oh, that's a great story too. Like starting from, you know, like you said, starting from selling from your house to a food truck to a restaurant. That's a great story right there.
yeah. Again, then just another 2 cents. Chefs often make the mistake of, again, this goes to Chef Lanny. Make the mistake of wanting to be the system. Again, ego driven, me. I'm the face. Yeah. If you check in the Mariscos, I'm not on there at all, because it's not about me. It's
Yeah.
about Mariscos de Cachanilla as the brand, as right. They are the system. It can't function without them. It might a day or two, a week maybe, but ultimately it will fail because the system is gone, and that's the chef.
Yeah.
And now I'm like letting my parents know too. Step back. Like, you don't have to be here. We don't want to run it. We want to train people, teach them, mentor them. This is how it's ran. This is how it goes. You know, You don't want to do it? Cool, I'll find someone that wants to do it. But
Right.
ultimately, this is how it's going to be ran. Let it run itself. Check in every now and then, make sure standards are upheld, and then open up something next. Café Nopal too. Sure, I'll be there by myself for a while, but hire someone, hire correctly from the beginning, train, mentor, let them know there's a future here, and let it run itself.
Yeah.
And then I have 3, 4 other concepts in my head. Start branching out, do like this umbrella little restaurant chain or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I think a lot of owners have a lot of problems with like
Letting go.
letting go and backing up and just, they want to be
And that might be a good thing
micromanagers.
because they're driven and they like
Yeah.
don't want their product to get like messed up because it's like a trust, but you have to delegate. You can't do it yourself.
Yeah.
You will end up burning out.
Yeah.
And that's something I'm struggling with too. But I keep reminding myself, it's okay, let them do it.
Yeah.
It's okay, let her do it. What do you need to do that they can't do that needs to be done?
Yeah. Yeah. I follow this guy on TikTok. He has restaurants in California. And he has all types of concepts, not just Mexican restaurants. He's Mexican. He's from Guadalajara, and he has a lot of knowledge of how to run restaurants, and like you said, letting go and train good people to run it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you will definitely burn out, and it'll happen fast if you're doing every single thing. I mean,
Right.
that's it's daunting, and then it's also not good for your mental health either, because it's always like, oh shit, I got to do this, I got to do that.
But see, this is where I'm crazy. I enjoy it so much that I don't feel like I'll get burned out.
Yeah,
Like I'm in it for the grind, you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Luckily my job is something that I love. And that fucking cliche where, oh, if you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't,
That's
because
good.
I not passionate but like driven and I know where I want to be and I know what I want. Um and the only way to get there is by putting in the hours and doing the hard work. If no one's gonna help you, then you ultimately have to do it yourself.
You
So
have no other choice.
might as well just get going.
Yes, sir. No, I
Yeah.
respect that.
No,
You know?
it's different when it's your own thing too.
Well, there's a different pride in that too,
Right.
because it's
Exactly.
yours. That's your creation.
Yeah. It's like they say when you become a business owner, you work 24/7. You don't have a 9 to 5 anymore.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
yeah.
So you're always working.
Yeah.
Well, your business is it's your child. It's your
Yeah.
baby. It's the same thing. It's a direct reflection on you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
exactly. And we'll see how these grow up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
5, 10 years from now, because we'll have our 4-year anniversary for Mariscos in August.
Oh, nice.
So I'm gonna try to invite a couple of vendors, post up along with us, and because y'all saw that video, that was a random Sunday.
Yeah.
It just filled up. Everybody started parking.
Yeah.
Do y'all bring
Listening to
like
music.
the music and all that?
We pay for
or-
the first 2 hours,
Okay.
and then we're closed.
Yeah.
We'll still serve people if they come to the window,
Right.
just like limited menu, really quick stuff, because everything's a scoop and measure and go.
Mhm.
Um, that people will just keep paying.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man.
I left at 9:30, trying to be nice, trying to wait to fold the chairs and put it back up so we could just go.
Yes, sir.
They were still going. I was like, I gotta go. It's too late. They
Damn.
left like at 10:30.
Well, it's crazy that it'll only be 4 years. It probably feels long for you, but in the grand scheme of things, that's not that long,
These days
honestly.
blur together, man.
Yeah. You forget
know,
what's what, and you're just always
what
going.
happened when, and
Yeah.
it's-
Do y'all do like are y'all like on Uber Eats or
No.
DoorDash and all that? or-
ultimately down to control too.
Yeah.
My Uber drivers that drop food off for me suck. So imagine them taking a cold ceviche or aguachile and taking their time, or picking
Yeah.
up a couple more drop offs, and then hey, those other drop offs are closer than my drop off, and my gets there last, even though it got picked up first, and now it's warm, or maybe it turned.
Right.
Get people sick. It's just might as well have them come pick up.
Yeah.
That a little extra effort of coming to me ultimately gets you a better, fresher, colder, in the end, product than getting it delivered. Yeah, I just don't trust it
Yeah, I don't blame you.
unless I hired my own drivers.
Yeah,
Your own delivery
You know?
drivers. Yeah.
But at that point, might as well just get a restaurant.
exactly. Yeah,
All that out of a food truck.
it's too much.
And luckily, we're consistently busy to the point where I don't have to resort to that.
Right. Yeah.
if I had that, I would probably just drown. You know.
Yeah, I can understand delivery, but from my perspective, I'm fortunate to have always had a car.
Yeah.
I like getting the experience.
Yeah.
Right.
There's part of that where it's like I want to go into the restaurant. Even if I'm taking it to go, I want to see where I'm getting it from, how the workers interact with me. Like it's a whole experience. That's what helps people buy into restaurants or businesses.
Yeah, and everywhere I go, I pick and not steal, but get inspired by what I see, so I could ultimately use that in my spots.
Exactly.
Yeah,
know?
that's how you get ideas going.
Yeah.
Exactly, picking
places,
and pulling and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, well,
like
then
this
you-
little nook right here, I love it.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. Well, you put it in a blender, all these ideas in a blender, and it comes out in your presentation the way you would do it,
Yeah.
and you filter it out the way you'd want to do it.
Yeah.
No, I love this part. It's super comfy.
Yeah,
it's
great.
everything. That's why I'm glad once you came in, you're like, it's very homey. So it's like, man, that's why I like bringing people here. Well, you're the first guest we've done here, but
Yeah.
Well,
so
I'm a
people are
pub guy,
comfortable.
so this has always been my vibe. Back in the day when I was single and went out a lot.
Yeah,
Yeah, we would go down Mad Hatter pretty often. Pug Mahomes right next door. Abbey Pub every now and then.
nice. You're married now, right?
I say I'm married and she's my wife and all that, but we're technically engaged.
Engage.
Okay.
Every time it's the right time to spend the money, something pops up. Like we were planning on going to Vegas in August, and Café Nopal it just fell in our laps. So we'll see if we can make that work. If not, we might have to push it back again. But we're trying not to.
Yeah,
We're
you just
trying
want to make it more of a
this year.
priority.
Yeah.
How long you been with her?
Since 2018.
Oh, nice. So
Yes.
7 years now.
About.
Cool.
Yep. We have 2 kids, Clementine and Milo. Clementine's 5. Milo is 2, and my stepdaughter, her eldest, is 19. Her name's Penelope.
Okay, nice.
Yes, she's been living on her own since we moved. In June, we went to stay with my parents for a bit. Save. She went with her grandma, her dad, alternating back and forth. Saved money with help from both our parents. Acquired a home.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't want to go back, so she's been successfully on
Yeah.
her own.
That's
you know?
good.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
And yeah, now build up the house, which is daunting. I'm only off this afternoon, yesterday afternoon and today, and if I don't get it done today, then I don't get it.
Yeah.
But same thing with the haircut. Last time he saw me, hair wasn't as long as yours, but I was just slicking it back because it's too long.
Yeah.
So it's a lot to do with not a little time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just always
And
going.
tomorrow, Mariscos soon. Just wish I had a clone
Yeah,
divvy
so
up the tasks.
yeah, so you can get double the amount of work
Get
knocked out at
everything done.
once.
And we brought this up in a couple of episodes before. I mean, we just tried to handle our time better.
Yeah, time
And
management.
I try to make a list of everything I got to do that day. And then if I don't do it all, I check what I do, and then I move it to the next day, and then add to that day, and try to get it done.
Mhm.
you
Yeah.
know? So just a little
Just
tough.
hard sometimes.
It
Yeah,
is.
it is.
You're like, oh, you're home.
You
finally
don't, you don't
resting.
even have kids yet.
And it's hard for me. That's why I'm glad. I
Yeah.
wouldn't want to.
Yeah,
It's just
hard.
because I'm just tired, especially with everything I got to do. It's like, man. Then you get
Once-
tired and you kind of slow down. You're like, damn, I need at least some rest.
Right, yeah.
Once the little one goes to school, my daughter's right now in pre-K over in Meadowbrook.
Oh, nice.
Elementary. It's a really nice school. Once he starts going to pre-K, game changer.
Right?
Yeah.
Whole mornings free to 3.
Yeah.
So
That'll be good.
more time, and that's probably Café Nopal hours too.
Exactly.
One opens up, one drops off the kids. Meet there, close, pick them up at 3:30.
Yeah.
Works out good timing wise for
Yeah,
your
when
life at the moment.
sometimes I got to pick up my daughter and I leave Don Artemio and I'm like flooring it and I'm like burning rubber and I'm like I gotta get there because
Yeah.
traffic sometimes sucks down
Oh, it's horrible.
University and then on 30.
Yeah, especially now, it's horrible. That university traffic's terrible. So I
Yeah.
try to go around or avoid, take a back way.
Yeah.
Especially when it's like rush hour, like really like it's just
And when
congested.
when I decide to do that, everyone decides to do that and it's just as
Exactly.
worse and I'm like even more
So it's just a clusterfuck at that point.
Yeah.
Does your wife work at the Mariscos place or no?
No, she has not worked. I mean, she's had a job here and there.
Yeah.
since COVID. She was laid off. Apparently in Texas they could fire you for whatever. Doesn't really matter.
Yeah.
And she has not worked since.
Okay.
So she was pregnant, had her daughter, just raise them, be there. Because at of the formative years, they need their mom.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know what I
Right,
mean?
yeah.
They need that comfort and, motherly love. And might as well have her raise them than put him in a daycare or, we tried having people watch him, but just 2 kids is too much.
Yeah.
And then she's had a few jobs. If she were to get a job right now, it would be like a visual manager at like some department store.
Oh, nice.
She worked
Yeah.
at Gap, Belk. So she's trying to find a job now. She's been looking, so hopefully she gets something.
Nice.
Now that the boy's getting a little closer to school, as soon as we get him potty trained, he'll qualify.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah, but she has not worked.
Yeah.
Let her relax.
Yeah.
Because watching the kids, sometimes that's, even more work than
Oh,
working
yeah.
a 9 to 5.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I
I get
can
home, she
imagine.
clocks out, be with the kids for a bit.
Yeah.
Or she'll go up to the room and watch her shows.
No, that's awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
I think COVID laid off a lot of people. My wife was off for about 2 years also, but it kind of worked out because that's when we had Olivia. Olivia was like 1 at the time, so she got a lot of time with her at home while she was still little. And yeah, when the Norteño opened back up, that's when the owner called her to come and work over there. So
Yeah. See, all that, like, it matters to the kids for sure. We think they might not remember, but
yeah,
even though they don't remember, it's those memories that make them who they are. And
Yep.
if you're absent, then sure, they won't remember that, but something in them is going to, like, ultimately remember in the end. So might as well be there,
no, definitely,
even if they forget, so that they grow up close,
yeah.
have that relationship with you.
It's
That's
like
how.
with our kids, like we take turns. Like she works and then I'm off, and I work and then she's off. So we don't really have a babysitter or anything. So
Yeah, I never had a babysitter. I just had my grandma. That's it. She'd watch me.
grandma,
But my parents always made initiative or took the time. Especially like that's why you remind me a lot of my parents because I'm like shit. That reminds me of this or that because it's
Yeah.
like they would take time to do stuff with me. So like, I love my parents more than anything. They gave me the best childhood I could ever ask for, and I'm forever grateful and forever indebted to them for that.
Yep.
yeah, definitely.
I think that means more in your life than anything, honestly,
Yeah,
because that doesn't ever leave you.
yeah,
No matter how successful you get or how good life gets, that never leaves you. Truly, whether it's good or bad.
yeah,
Yep. Because I take clues off that for raising my kids.
Yeah.
Definitely gentle parenting, but whenever they, get out of hand, might as well, thug it out for
Oh yeah.
a night, make them cry.
Yeah.
Because they need to cry. They need to get over that. They
They
need
need-
to get angry. They need to get over being angry. And they need to cry. They need to get over getting over crying. Because that all,
Oh,
you know,
we're parked under the tent.
Yes, ma'am. Yeah, we got you.
We gotta move real quick.
you're good.
He put on the glasses the other day that I went to the taco truck. He was whipping it, bro. We gotta-
Going ham in that thing.
I notice how silver everything is. I try to keep everything like
No, it looks clean. It looks
fucking
super
spotless.
clean. Like,
you know,
look at that. Shit's clean
No,
as
it's
fuck.
super clean.
Yeah.
because like ultimately, and and as absurd as this is gonna sound, and I agree, it's absurd. I want Michelin stars. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? I've already accepted I'm not gonna get one. But it doesn't hurt to try, right? And
I
cleanliness
mean, anything's
is
possible, man. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just. You
Yeah, I
can.
know, but
You-
I
you
mean-
will for sure.
fucking food truck, man.
Yeah, but I mean,
but
everybody
st-
starts from there, you know.
Yeah, but once you turn into a restaurant, it's a different story. That's what it
Exactly.
leads to.
But that's why I want to dial everything down here to a science.
Yeah,
Get those good habits in of constantly cleaning, constantly cleaning, measuring.
So once you get to the restaurant,
Consistency. Yeah.
Yeah.
So whenever it's in the restaurant, they're not questioning me. Well, why are we doing this every day? Because we've done it every day for the past 3 years.
exactly.
Why
Yeah.
stop now?
Yeah,
If
it's
anything,
just how it is.
got to try even harder.
yeah.
Makes sense because it's more of a bigger floor plan.
So it'll be good. But yeah.
So right here, what were you making?
Those are our gobernadores tacos.
Gobernadores?
So that mixture takes me like 3 hours to make. It's
Oh,
a
really?
process because what
Yeah.
you want to do is you want to like develop flavors, and the only way to do that is time.
Okay.
And however hot it is you're cooking. So the mixture is julienne onion, poblano, tomatoes at the very end, fuck
Yeah.
ton of garlic.
We'll have to
I
put this on the screen too, so people
Yeah,
can see
I
what's
told him I
going
was gonna
on.
put it on there. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I confit onion, half the amount of onion from the batch and the poblanos. I confit those. I draw as much moisture as can, get as much sugar as I can out of those onions. Cook down the poblanos too. Then I'd like to have confit garlic already, but I would cook garlic on the side. I'd brown it or bloom it better because it's minced, and then I'd add it to it. Um, Then I grab tomato paste and I cook out the tomato paste for another 30, 45 minutes, right? Develop real, like the edge of a pizza crust, that little tomato that kind of gets burnt.
Mhm.
That's what you want.
Oh, nice.
Develop that for another 30, 45 minutes right there. It's already an hour and a half. Then you emulsify butter in it. You add your seasonings, which I'm not going to reveal.
Yeah.
Um,
That's
That's a
top
you
secret.
just
secret.
keep tasting, make sure it's balanced, make sure it hits every part of your tongue. Then you add the rest of the veggies in. By then, the mixer's already hot. You bring it up to a simmer and you turn it off. You let it coast. You add the tomatoes in, and the residual heat will cook the tomatoes. Because again, I'm cooking it one more time. You don't want to just cook it all at once, right? You kind of get it there, and then you just fold it in a cheese tortilla, like a queso taco,
Yeah.
like a birria, right? So
Mm.
very flavorful, very like
And these are
umami
like,
forward.
fried shrimp tacos.
Yeah, fried shrimp tacos.
Fried shrimp tacos.
Those are for the homeless guy.
Yeah.
Those look
So-
awesome.
What would you say is the most popular item that you have on the menu?
It's definitely ceviche.
Ceviche.
We have tacos because
at that,
people
bro.
expect tacos from a food truck, you know.
Look at that.
Yeah.
But that's not like our main seller.
Looks
um,
fire.
It's good as
Because
fuck.
you could eat like you could expect 4 tacos on every order,
Yeah.
right? But people come for the ceviche. So we have a mitotero, which is fish ceviche, shrimp ceviche. There's shrimp cocktail shrimp, just cooked in water that we cook in house. And then aguachile shrimps. We put pulpo and scallops.
Oh, nice.
And we finish it off with a little mitotero sauce that if you see the video, the recipes are right there on the little
Oh, yeah, what
the
you were talking about earlier.
the mitotero sauce and some clamato. That's the most popular one. Tastes the best. Has a little bit of everything. So if you're kind of skeptical, oh, well, no, I'm gonna try a little bit of everything. Just buy that,
Yeah.
you know. And then in the future, they might not have liked the fish or the shrimp, blah 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 blah. blah. So that's our miso plus shrimp ceviche, aguachiles, fish, cucumber. We already fan avocados in ahead of time because we won't be able to. We would be waiting on just avocados.
Yeah.
Right. This system that I have going is pump out assembly line.
Yeah.
You know,
That's
you
good.
scoop it, someone else tops it, other person puts the lid on it, gone. Because it's the same thing. It's repetitive motion, right? If anything,
Second nature.
they're thinking about dinner and they're just making
Yeah.
orders.
It's just
you know, 'cause
second nature at that
it's
point. You've
easy.
done it so many times, so many reps.
And that's our agua chile rojo. Fresh lime juice at the end, just to make it a little brighter.
Yeah.
This is
Because
awesome.
the lime juice kind of tones down whenever you cook shrimp in it. So the little extra hit of fresh acidity at the end just makes it that much better. It's good on its own like that, but once you add the lime juice, it just
Yeah.
just
Just takes it over the top.
yeah, it wakes up in your mouth. If that makes sense.
I need to come by soon.
Yeah.
I'm already.
Everything
I'm already ready
everything
to
is
go.
measured because I know out of each of these containers, just by looking at it, how much it yields me.
Yes, sir.
So long as the ladies are measuring correctly. They can't have the measuring scoop and have a little bit on top because that little bit on top accumulates.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
a day, it's maybe one more scoop. In a week, it might be a whole tray. Imagine how much we're giving away if we give away that much more in a year.
Yeah. That all adds up.
And at our point, because we are still a food truck and we still need to keep food costs down and limit waste and maximize profit, we have to same each time. We can't afford to just let stuff go, because then it makes it that much easier on the person. Like, oh well, they didn't say anything last time. I'm just gonna keep doing it,
Exactly.
Yeah.
and it might get worse and worse and worse.
No, I love that, man. I love that you're like
It's
that.
all around consistency.
Yeah.
all around.
All
But it
around.
was work in progress, as we go, as we adjust
Yeah.
to volume. I left. I was at Righteous Foods with Lanny Lankart.
Yes,
Right,
sir.
shout out Righteous Foods. And my parents hit me up like when you're. I don't want to say Mexican because other cultures are like this, but in our culture, if your parents come and ask you for help, it's because they need help,
Right.
right? Not probably out of pride or machismo or whatever, but they approached me one day late at night, like, "Hey, son, we're getting a lot busier than we were in the past. If you could come back, that would be great."
So you
So
didn't start when they first opened. You didn't start
I would
working
come
there.
and go,
Okay.
because at that point I've been in the restaurant industry for about like 6 years.
Oh.
So I've worked up, I've gotten a higher, wage, and
Yeah.
the only way for me to do that is if they pay my wage too, because
Right.
I have my own bills and I've been in the house for a
Yeah.
while. So at first I just helped them set up, standardize everything, recipe books, measured, blah blah blah. They would be like, "Oh, well, we do this much," and from the I'm like, "Okay, that's a tablespoon, that's a cup," blah, blah, right? Build recipes for them. Um, Systems left because it was too slow. Why keep pulling money from the business when the business needs to be invested in? So I was like, "Y'all are good. Trained you up. I'm gonna go learn more." Um, Worked around a few different chefs, all of
Yeah.
them great. Um, Come back as they got busier. Got to the point where I'm standing around because everybody's trained up and efficient. Leave, and then this one recent time I haven't left.
Yeah.
Because they would sell out at like $3,000. The fridge is completely empty. Slowly training them up, work efficiently, minimize steps. Now we're selling out at like 7 grand.
Holy.
You know,
That's awesome, man.
but last Sunday we were almost at 7 grand, and I still had product to keep going. So we're getting
Damn.
to the point where we're working more efficiently. We're holding more product, and more importantly, it's going right. I'm just holding on to it, and we're staying consistently prepped. So if I do get that flood right at closing, I can feed another 30, 40, 50 people.
Yeah.
If that happens.
If it happens,
Exactly.
yeah.
I'm not superstitious. I'm a little stitious.
No, those are great numbers, man. Those are like restaurant numbers, honestly.
Yes. But again, limit waste. Make sure
Yeah.
nothing goes in the trash if it does not need to be in the trash. Limit how much actually goes out. We don't want to
Right.
give the restaurant away just because we're like the regular.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll give them free stuff every now and then, hook people up,
Yeah.
if it feels right.
Right.
When you do it, you're like, this feels right.
Right.
Doesn't feel
Exactly.
forced.
Yeah.
Person's not gonna be like, why am I getting this? It's like, hey, here you go, man.
Yeah. It's
On the house.
Yeah. It's just kind of a natural thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Your loyal customers also, they support you, and that's the least you can do sometimes,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you're that loyal, it's like, hey, I appreciate it.
I have stickers now. I've been giving stickers away for everybody.
Nice.
Who knows what
Yeah.
random place they'll
End
slap
up.
them,
Yeah. That's free promotion. Because
Yep.
I could see it and be like, oh man,
Or
what is
they'll
that?
put it on their phone and
Exactly. Yeah.
So
There you go.
That's awesome, man. That's a great story, bro. We're really happy you came on. And who's that shirt that you're wearing? Is
this
it
is
is it
Barcelona,
Madrid
man.
or
I'm
what?
addicted to soccer. That's
Yeah.
one thing I didn't say. Hey, I'm Oscar. I'm an addict. But I am addicted to soccer. I
Yeah?
don't watch football. I don't watch basketball. I played every sport, but whenever I play soccer, like clicked, I was like, this is easy. This is natural to me. So
Yeah,
I'm gonna
that's
follow
your deal.
this. And I'm a Barcelona fan.
Yeah.
I'm a Chivas fan from Mexico
That's awesome.
too.
There we
I
go.
had to throw that in there.
No,
Yeah.
it's a must.
And
That's
we
part of you.
play in an hour against Inter Milan.
Great to
I'm
go.
a little nervous.
Is it like a championship or like a playoff?
or the Champions
type?
League?
Oh, Champions League? Okay.
Yep. All the best winning teams for every country make a tournament. Now in the semifinals,
Oh, nice.
we win this, we're in the final. I'm confident we're gonna win, but
Who are
there's
the
a
other-
little worry in me.
Yeah.
Who are the other two teams that are still in?
Arsenal and PSG.
Okay.
And in England, I'm an Arsenal fan, so if it's Arsenal and Barcelona in the final, I'm gonna be kind of torn.
Yeah.
Who's your number one,
So
though?
hard.
Barcelona.
Barcelona? Okay, nice.
Yep.
That's
Yep.
awesome. Yeah, I like soccer. I mean, I grew up liking Chivas also. I'm
Yeah,
from
good.
Guadalajara, so
Half off.
I grew up watching them and all that. And actually, 2 years ago, it came on my timeline on my Snapchat. We went to go watch Barcelona play. I don't know what team it was.
That's on my bucket list. I have
Yeah.
not had the privilege But one day.
Oh, against Juventus.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
That would have been a good game.
The black and white jerseys. Yeah. My little brother, they came down from New York, and they're big fans, and they're like, "Can we go?" I'm like, "Yeah, let's go." So I took them. We all had fun. It was awesome.
So that
That's
would've been a
awesome.
Yeah.
blast.
Clam chowder.
You never been to a Barcelona game?
No, I want to.
Yeah, hell yeah.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I supplement my soccer with constant FIFA.
Yeah.
If I can't get out there and play, then might as well FIFA.
Yeah, exactly.
played on the game. Yeah.
There we go.
No, he was crying, bro. He was so excited.
Was he
couldn't believe
really?
it. He's
Was
like,
he-
I can't believe it. He saw like Piqué and like,
My wife
I don't know.
says Messi's my boyfriend to make me, I was sure.
yeah.
All
If he's
right.
down, I'm down.
There we go.
When he came down to Miami, my little brother became a fan of
Yeah.
watching MLS, and we watch it every now and then. But yeah, I'm trying to get him into playing soccer.
There needs to be more soccer in Texas.
Yeah, for sure.
As soon as soccer is accepted in the United States with our resources and our like medical, how can I put it, like teams could custom fit a diet for you and an exercise plan to bring out your peak
Yeah.
performance.
Yeah.
But all that's going into football and basketball,
Yeah,
baseball.
baseball.
If they were to invest half of that into soccer and breed these fucking 6-foot Cristiano Ronaldos,
Yeah.
right? The United States will be a powerhouse.
Yeah, I believe it. Yeah.
100%. They just need to embrace it, and right now they're not. So they won't.
Well, it's a world sport,
It is,
It's
yeah.
not
Yeah.
like football where it's really just an American, or baseball, which it's not. I mean, it's around the world, but not as big as soccer is
I mean,
prevalent
if you think
everywhere.
about it, soccer, you can just play with the ball. That's all you need to get.
Yeah.
And I guess that's why it's a lot popular with like countries that are not, wealthy, is because
The
it's cheap.
equipment's not
It's
as
cheap.
much,
Yeah,
man.
football. I mean, you look at all the equipment you have to buy.
Yeah, well,
baseball,
for soccer,
everything
what do
else.
you need cleats, like shin pads and a ball?
I mean, not
and
even that. I mean,
uniform?
if you don't even have the money for
Yeah,
that,
you
you
can
just
barefoot, honestly. Yeah.
I'll
do it
juggle
with.
in the house just barefoot.
Yeah, there you go then.
you
So
know?
pretty much just a ball, and you can get to playing.
Look how much shit you need for baseball and football alone: batting gloves, a mitt,
it's a lot of money.
cleats.
Yeah,
Then you go your everything
Hey,
else.
soccer balls are expensive nowadays.
yeah,
They're like $180
Yeah.
for like really top tier.
Yeah.
like the ones they
I
use in
wish.
games and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
$180.
Damn.
But engineered to be, like accurate.
Yeah.
Fly 40,
It makes a
50
difference.
yards. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully now, when next year when the World Cup comes, maybe I'll
It gets
get a little-
embraced more.
yeah.
My fear is the infrastructure. We're gonna get flooded with people from different countries.
Yeah.
And I wonder if traffic is this bad with just us here
Imagine.
in Fort Worth. Imagine
Uh.
Arlington, the Cowboy game times 100.
That's insane.
Sheesh.
That aftermath will linger on over to Fort Worth
So,
too, because think
yeah.
of hotels
Oh,
and
yeah,
everything.
definitely. For
Fort Worth's
sure.
a better. I'd rather stay in Fort Worth than Arlington. I might be biased, but
Yeah. No, that's gonna be crazy.
oh, it is.
It is gonna be crazy. I guess soccer got a little bit popular also with like that show on Apple TV. The
Ted Lasso?
Yeah,
Fucking
Ted
love
Lasso.
Ted Lasso.
Yeah.
My wife is probably watching Ted Lasso right now.
Oh, really?
If she watches this, she's gonna
Yeah.
be like, yeah.
Should be like I probably was.
It's just a feel good show. It feels great.
Yeah.
It makes you feel good.
Have you
Ted-
watched it?
No, I haven't
No?
seen it.
Dude,
Yeah.
please.
Watch
Is
it,
it,
bro.
is it worth it?
If there's 4 things you're gonna take away from me, watch Ted Lasso. Watch One Piece if you haven't already started. Watch
Okay.
One Piece. No, just those 2.
That's it. Just those two.
Yeah,
No,
I
love
feel
Ted
very
Lasso.
strongly about those 2.
Yeah. That was
Everything
good.
else could wait.
Yeah.
Start
That was a
One
good
Piece now.
series.
Got you on it.
Is it over, or are they gonna keep? They're gonna keep making new
I
seasons,
mean, I'm
or
sure
how's that work?
I'm sure there's an end plan, but I think they're too far. They're too far in that they don't want to stop. They're over 14,000
Damn,
episodes.
that's
I'm
insane.
780 in.
Dang.
Yes, it's great.
Wow.
That's
a lot.
insane.
Well, I don't like shows to end. Ted Lasso ended. I was distraught.
Yeah.
What am I gonna do now? Run back to One Piece.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's why I don't like watching series. Also, like I don't like the ends.
Yeah, I get like invested.
Like
Yeah.
You were trying to get me to watch Landman when it was out.
Yeah.
And I honestly didn't want to start watching it just because I hate waiting for the next episode.
I know.
So
The
I was like,
Last
I'll
of
just
Us.
wait
That's
till
what's
it's
right now.
over.
Yeah,
And then I'll
and
watch it.
yeah, and then
that's
you're
what I did. I
yeah, and
binge watched the whole thing.
I remember after it was over, I finished it, and you were like, "I just watched the whole thing. It was fucking amazing." I was like, "Yeah, I know, dude."
Yeah,
And when you wait week for week, because they leave you with cliffhangers.
yeah, bro, I
I'm
was like, I hate that shit.
Yeah, I
I'd rather
know.
not watch it at all and just wait.
yeah,
My wife wanted to wait and binge The Last of Us,
Yeah.
but I was like, you can't. This is season 2. You can't.
yeah,
I played both games and I knew it was coming. I was like, you can't. There's no way you could avoid this spoiler if you wait to the end.
yeah.
So I forced her to watch it, and now we're waiting week by week.
There you go.
Dang.
I kind of like the anticipation, though.
You do?
I do.
Yeah.
I like that shit.
I think Milton was the one that he's like that he watches a whole episode again, or you.
I do.
You
Yeah,
do?
I'll watch it, and then if I've time, which I usually will at night if I'm home, I'll watch it again.
Watch it again.
Yeah, because their
Damn.
episodes are rewatchable, man.
Yeah.
They're enjoyable. You can
Ted
rewatch
Lasso.
that whole season again, and I
That's
did it
true.
recently. I just when I had food poisoning a month and a half ago. I mean, it went away quick, but I was just sitting there resting. Late night, just started watching it.
Yeah.
Fell asleep watching it.
Yeah. You said you were the Office fan, huh?
The Office, Parks and Rec. We're watching Abbott's Elementary right now too. It's really funny. Enjoy it.
That's awesome.
Caitlin loves The Office.
Yeah.
She loves The Office.
Yeah. Have you watched it?
I do watch it now because, I started watching it because Caitlin told me to start watching it. But Milton, when we went to Nashville, he'd put it on the TV all the fucking time. So all we were watching was the Office when we were in Nashville. And I was like, oh, this is
Damn.
funny.
You know, Friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, Friends is a classic,
You know.
man. You can't go wrong with that.
Right.
Yep.
And then it's always on something,
Right,
if you
right.
put on the TV.
Yeah, we got. Is it on Peacock? No, Peacock is for The Office.
The Office Peacock.
Yeah.
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 It's on something right now. I forget what it was. I remember it was on Netflix for the longest.
Right.
We had it on when it shut off.
Yeah.
The last day, like
Yeah.
a little bit past midnight, it just cut off.
Just cut off on your mid-watch.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Damn. Yeah, lately I mean I haven't been watching
Psych.
that many series just because I've been kind of busy with like this and then work and the kids and it's
Which
been
is why I
kinda
would like
tough.
One Piece. If I watch one episode while I'm free, cool.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And it's never going to end for the foreseeable future.
That's
so
insane.
I have something to watch. If I'm like, what can I do?
What's it on?
Hulu.
Hulu.
Disney.
Okay.
Okay, cool.
It's on Netflix, but Netflix, at a certain point, jumps you to the most current
Oh, okay.
season, and
Right.
I'm going literally one by one.
Yeah. Okay. Nice.
Crunchyroll,
Yeah.
you know.
That's awesome, man.
Hell yeah,
Any-
that's solid.
Anything else you want to plug before we end the episode
Or even say
or say?
whatever you want. The floor is
I
yours.
really want to call this Barcelona Inter Milan game, but I'm stitious,
Yeah.
and I don't want to
To jinx
jinx
it.
myself because I'm
Yeah.
confident we'll win. But at the same time, if I say it, I know with my luck we're gonna lose, and I would rather just.
Don't just say. Then don't say it.
But no, man, we're good. I appreciate it. You know,
Awesome.
First podcast is shooting
Yes,
it
sir.
off the hip.
Well, you did a great job. It was
Yeah.
also good to meet you, man.
You
This is my
too.
first time meeting you. You're
You
an awesome
know?
guy. You got me
Pleasure.
inspired,
You know,
honestly.
try. You know, us chefs qualify into like the Gordon Ramsays and like the Thomas Kellers.
Yes,
I like
sir.
to think of myself as more of a Thomas Keller type
Yeah.
person. You
Oh,
know,
that's
there's
awesome.
no need to yell. There's no need to be aggressive. Just
Yeah.
go in.
Yes, sir.
Work harder than you did the day before.
No, that's good.
You know?
Yeah, that's good. That's awesome. All right. So we're going to end it here.
Well, this is the boys
Peace.
here back at Rabbit Hole. This is 2 guys, 1 cast. We out.
We out of here.
Cool, man. Thank you guys.
That was awesome.
Yeah, I was gonna not pull anything with me. That's one thing about 6'1" is